Tube. So if you turn around, look at the TV, you're on TV. So that means we're ready to get started. Okay. Welcome everyone. Appreciate you being here this evening. This is the 17th day of August, 2015. First on the order is a public hearing. So I'll read the caption. A public hearing on ordinance number 1450, an ordinance to amend the zoning ordinance of the City of Tullahoma, Tennessee, which is ordinance number 1392, by amending Article 4, Specific District Regulations, Section 4, Commercial Zones. So did everybody understand that? So does anyone here wish to address the council on that public hearing? Seeing none, we will proceed. We're very pleased to have our very own city judge with us this evening, Judge Connolly. And it will fall to his lot to swear in our two aldermen this evening. So, Judge Connolly, the floor is yours.
If I could have Mr. Noest. Oh, there you are. Can you come up here, please? Sir. If you raise your right hand, you have Ray Noest.
I, Ray Noest,
Alderman for the City of Tullahoma.
Alderman for the City of Tullahoma.
Do affirm that I will faithfully, truly, and impartially perform the duties of said office during my incumbency without fear, favor, or partiality. To the best of my skill. And ability. So help me God. Congratulations.
She's here. Mr. Noest, if you would like to come and have a seat, we've got you ready to go right here, and I'll call on you in just a moment for any comments that you would like to make, okay? And welcome.
Mr. Price, if you'd raise your right hand and repeat after me. Can I continue?
Here. You need this.
I don't think it'd do any good.
Yeah, probably.
Alderman for the City of Tullahoma, Tennessee. Do affirm that I will faithfully, truly, and impartially perform the duties of said office during my incumbency without fear, favor, or partiality. That's my skill and so help me God. Mr. Mayor, that was just a condition on a provision. I reserve the right to revoke this.
We'll let you know.
It's always touching.
Dr. Blanks, if you want to have a seat, I'll call on you in just a minute for any comments that you'd like to make. Judge Connolly, anything that you'd like to say before you go?
I enjoy it. It's like this every year.
For those of you in the audience, what you've just witnessed is a very important part of the democracy of the United States. Every year, you have an opportunity to elect leaders that help make decisions for all of us in the community. And so we appreciate Mr. Noest, we appreciate Dr. Blanks, and their willingness to serve the people of Tullahoma. So what school do most of you go to? Have East Lincoln, Fair, Bel Air, and Lee. Okay. So I visit your classrooms each year. Perhaps you remember that. And one of the things we talk about is community leadership and making a difference. And and being respectful and all that. So, Mr. Noes, you've moved from the front seat where you've occupied for the past year at city council meetings. We appreciate that. And you've now taken a position here. So welcome. And let me recognize you for any comments that you would like to make.
Thank you, Mayor. First off, I'd like to thank the voters for selecting me for this honor and to tell you how humble I am actually to be in this position to serve with this team. I look forward to a great tenure as your alderman, and congratulate also Dr. Blanks for the great race that he ran. We were very neck and neck in our vote count, and we both worked hard, and I appreciate the effort that you made, Dr. Blanks, as well. So for the voters, though, thank you. I'm honored to be your servant.
This might be a good opportunity to thank your wife as well, since she's in the audience.
Lane, you've been a politician longer than I have. But
I've also been a husband. And
as I was interviewed on some of the news media, I was asked what did I attribute my success, and I quickly handled that one better than I did tonight by saying that I had a secret weapon, and that secret weapon was my wife Ann. My wife Ann, who's been by my side for 55 years. 55 years, and how grateful I am to have her as my bride.
Oh, good.
Thank you.
Good. Dr. Blanks.
Thank you, Lane. I would also like to thank the voters of Tullahoma for giving me another term to serve this great community. I hope I can do that with humbleness and do everybody a good job. A few people I would like to thank as well. My beautiful bride of 20 plus years, who's over there hiding. She made it for the swearing in. She's helpful along with my son, who has gone back to school. They were my right-hand man and woman for this campaign. So I appreciate that, and I hope to continue in the good work of the city. But I thank the voters.
Yeah. Thank you both very much. Look forward to working with both of you. And I would be remiss without also taking this opportunity to thank Ms. Sandy Lindeman, who served with distinction on this board for 6 years. Her fingerprints are on many, many good things that we enjoy in Tullahoma, and we appreciate her service as well. And at some future point, we'll recognize her and thank her for her tenure as well. So anyway. Okay, we're now ready for the special call meeting of the Board of Mayor and Aldermen. First is the call to order, which we've done, and now we have the reading of the call. Ms. Golden.
Yes, to the Aldermen of the City of Tullahoma, you and each of you are hereby notified that the Board of Mayor and Aldermen and the Beer Board of the City of Tullahoma, Tennessee is called to meet in a special call session on Monday, August 17, 2015 at 5:30 p.m. at the Municipal Building for the purpose of considering the following. 1, ordinance number 1450, an ordinance to amend the zoning ordinance of the City of Tullahoma, Tennessee, which is ordinance number 1392, by amending Article 4, Specific District Regulations, Section 4, Commercial Zones, for the passage on the first of 3 readings, and for the purpose of transacting any other business that may lawfully come before the board, and waive any and all irregularities of the same. Roll call. Mayor Curley.
Here.
Alderman Blanks.
Here.
Alderman Duncan.
Here.
Alderman Keene.
Here.
Alderman Noes.
Here.
Alderman Mathis.
Here.
Alderman Stanton. There are 6 present, and I'll pass this around so you guys can put your signature on it, please.
Okay, the chair detects a quorum, so we will proceed. Next, we're very pleased to have Reverend Wayne Wester with us this evening. Ask that you step to the podium and ask everyone to please stand for the invocation and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. Reverend Wester.
Let's pray together. Father, as I come, I thank you first for the opportunity to live in this great land. I thank you for democracy and freedom. I thank you for those that serve in this city and in this nation, that help sustain that democracy and protect our freedoms. And for all of those, Lord, even tonight, that stand in harm's way between us and those that would try to steal our freedoms, the tyranny of those evil people sometimes, Lord, we thank you that ultimately you watch over us. But we also thank you that you at times have used many soldiers to do so. And I thank you on their behalf. I thank you. May you watch over and protect them. And you may watch over and protect us. And may we do things, Lord, that you're proud of and that make you happy. And may you correct us when we don't. Thank you for that and for all that you do. We love you, Jesus. We pray in your name. Amen. Amen. All right, join me for the pledge. Ready? Salute. Pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Reverend Rustin. We appreciate you. Okay, you see, not only do we have a new face of Mr. Noah's here, but we have a new face. The school has started back, so Mr. Mathis has once again done an excellent job finding an honorary alderman. So let me ask you to introduce properly Ms. Triana Lane.
Be glad to. Ms. Triana Lane is a senior at Tullahoma High School. The young lady is one of the most admirable young ladies I've been around as far as reading books. She will read 4 or 5 books every single week. I watched her, she worked with us in the guidance department, and I'd walk in, she'd be reading the book, and I'd say, well, that wasn't the same book you read yesterday. Well, I finished it. So she reads all the time. She's one of our volleyball players. Outstanding young lady, always a pleasant smile. She will, where do you want to go to school next year?
UTK. University of Tennessee.
I know where it is. Here. If I'd have known that, I wouldn't ask. But anyway, one of the young ladies that when you see her in the hall is always a smile, as most of you can look around and you can see her tonight. She's going to be smiling all the time. She will do what she wants to do in life future, and you're one of those young ladies been blessed.
Well, welcome. That was a very nice introduction. Yeah. So let me recognize you for anything that you'd like to add. Any activities you're involved with, or?
I was on the volleyball team. I decided to take this year off because it is my senior year, and I wanted to focus on my academics because I've always kept them up, so that's important to me. I'm also in DECA. It's like a business club we have at Tullahoma, and for all like the little kids, get into it. Miss Woodard's awesome. Like the whole program's really good, especially if you want to become like somebody who's like a business leader when you get older. And I want to share like how much I just love Tullahoma and like the people. I just moved here like 1.5 years ago, and they just made me feel like really welcome. Like I've always been here, and they're my family like already. And I just love Tullahoma and all the people in it. And I want to thank them for making me feel welcomed, and everybody here tonight for coming.
That was very nice. So if you would stand where you are, we have a nice certificate to present to you. And if on cue, Mr. Winston Brooks will be walking around to take a picture and Chris as well. So.
1, 2, 3. Maybe one more here. 1, 2, 3. Sorry. 1, 2.
So, after this, do you have family here with you tonight? Okay. Okay. Ms. Lane, we look forward to working with you this evening, and so we'll call on you in just a few minutes for any report that you'd like to give in addition to what you just gave, okay?
Okay.
Good. Well, you know, one of the things that we enjoy most as a Board of Mayor and Aldermen is recognizing achievement. And I think before us this evening, these young men and their coaches certainly need to be recognized for their achievement. Let me, I should have already done this, but I believe we have at least a couple of coaches here. Can the coaches step forward for just a second and maybe just give the board a summary of what all you accomplished this year? And I want
That right there played for me. Travis did.
Yeah.
Chef.
All right. So let me step to the podium if you don't mind and just give us a summary of how the season went, okay?
First of all, these are the 9 and 10-year-old Tullahoma Little League state and district champions. These boys, we went through district play undefeated, went through state undefeated, went out to the regional, finished up with a record of 1-2 out in the regional out in North Carolina. Boys did very well. Just kind of ran up against some teams, heavy hitters, bigger cities, which was probably the biggest thing. They kind of announced the population at the opening ceremony of each city, and Tullahoma population was right around 20,000 or so, and we're playing against teams that 60, 70,000, which is a good accomplishment for these boys, the way they handle themselves in their cities, and just showed everybody that, you know, we can achieve things outside of Tullahoma as a small community doing big things. Coach Dave Cooper was a big help. Ryan Dawson was a big help. And not only these two coaches, but the families were amazing. And the city of Tullahoma stood up. This was my 5th time going to a Little League state championship. And each year, the city kind of gives us support. We always have to ask for donations because, you know, there's cost, hotels, gas, food. And just to see the city kind of stand up and support the Little League group from year to year is amazing. They actually did very well helping us achieve what we were trying to do and get to where we were trying to go. So we'd like to thank the city of Tullahoma also for the things that they've done for us to help us get to where we needed to be.
Yeah.
So.
Any other coaches have anything to add?
I pretty much summed everything up.
All right, Mr. Mathis is our resident baseball historian. Mr. Mathis, can you mind give a little oversight as to the history of baseball, particularly when you got started?
When you invented it.
When I invented it. Well, to give you an idea how young I really am, this young man in front of me, Travis Sheffield, I coached him, and now he's had 3 young men, 2 of them. Jordan, for example, is at Vanderbilt now. Justice is pitching for the Cleveland Indians. And now you have Jackson, and no telling where he's going to end up. But now I did get to coach this one. And young men, I want you to understand my start in baseball came in the Little League. I got involved in Estill Springs, that little town a few miles from here. We had a great team. We had to participate against Tullahoma back then, and Little League was very instrumental in my getting to be the head coach at Tullahoma High School for 32 years. During that time, I had great athletes. We didn't have great coaching, but we had great athletes. And those young men started exactly where you are right now. They started as little leaguers. Many of them went on to play college ball. Many of them went on to play professional ball. For example, we have Brian Morris right now, who is one of the leading relievers for the Marlins. And we also had DeJuan Brazelton, who was the opening day starter for the Tampa Bay. So you've got a lot to look forward to. Little League is very important, not only to everyone around you and your parents, but it's going to be very important for your future. So one thing you got to remember, you've been very successful. You will have times that you won't be that successful, but always keep that head up and it'll always come around.
Very well done. Yeah, thank you. You did forget, though, one of the managers you had way back there.
Well, I'll go over one manager I did have. His name is Lane Curley, and he was one of my baseball managers for years. And what I liked about Lane more than anything else, and you can relate to this, Travis, in that we have a crow's nest on top of the stadium, and it's the hardest thing in the world to get up there. And then it didn't have safety rails. And I would look up there at that thing, and I'd say, no, I'm not going up there. And I'd say, Lane, come here and go up. So Lane kept going up and down, and all of a sudden it'd be a foul ball, would go out, and the first thing I'd say, Lane, ball out. And down he'd come, and here he'd go. And I ran him to death. And but those things happen, and it's a great sport. We've enjoyed it, and I've enjoyed it all of my life. So, and I enjoyed having you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right.
Well, Tullahoma does have a tremendous legacy of baseball. And so I'm certainly proud the tradition continues. And I wanted each of you to hear something that means a lot to me, and I believe it means a lot to the author. So let me recognize Alderman Duncan at this time to present a short poem that he has prepared.
Thank you very much, Mayor. As a lot of young people, when they finish school and decide that the world is calling them. You know, we decide we need to we're going to college maybe, or we decide that this little town maybe is a little smaller than we want to branch out to, and we decide we want to go out and see the world. You know, we always think the grass is greener somewhere else. And that's the way I was when I was young. And I decided to leave here, and I moved to Southern California for a brief period of time, and you see where I am now. But anyway, I decided to leave, and I just thought, Tullahoma, I wanted to go out and see the world. And when I came back, I really had a greater appreciation for my hometown, and it inspired me to write this poem. It's called Tullahoma, Tennessee, and it goes, "Oh, I have chased a dream a time or two in search of things unknown. I have seen the glittering gold of life and wandered far from home. Things I sought I already had when blinded eyes could see. For the place I left in search of my dream was the place that cried out to me, oh, there's something about the atmosphere. Kindness fills the air. Mama said there's so much love, God often visits there. If you search the whole world over, none other you'll find the same that likens her uniqueness or even shares her name. Her secrets seem to have captured my heart, for my spirit yearns to be where love, peace, and hope reside, Tullahoma, Tennessee." There's no place like home.
Very well done. Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Mathis, we appreciate you as well. We've prepared certificates for each of the young people. Mr. Mathis, you want to get us started and call out those names and present those to the three, and then Ms. Keene, if you'll follow, and then Mr. Duncan and Dr. Blanks, Mr. Norris. And where's
Andrew Dawson? This says, in recognition presented to Andrew Dawson, number 22, Tullahoma Little League Team 9 and 10-year-old division, in recognition of your outstanding accomplishment for an undefeated becoming the Little League 9 and 10-year-old division team 215 or 2015 District 8 tournament champions and 2015 Tennessee State champions. Jackson Sheffield. And it says exactly the same thing. 24, right? All right, good job. Colton Emery. Number 21. Congratulations.
Evan Tomlin. Congratulations. And May Snipes.
Connor King, number 2. Zane Hall, number 4. Ashton Dodge, number 5.
Number 10, Hayden Cooper. Number 12, Charlie Pierce. Number 18, Kay Fanning.
Number 27, Liam Braddock. And number 26,
You down there.
Mason Norris.
Okay, and we've got certificates prepared for the coaches as well. Chris, if you want, I want to try to get all the players and the coaches and for the Aldermen in the picture as well. So we're thinking about how to do that.
With care.
Congratulations.
I went back and talked to Jordan.
Chris. Okay.
Started
You know, I thought it'd be important to get this picture because you don't know where these young people are going to go. Yeah. We need to win.
Let's see what we can do here. Jackson and can you get you guys to step forward? Andrew, Hill, and Mason, step forward. Can I get you guys to come down? A little bit taller. Actually,
Yeah.
parents have cameras, y'all.
Yeah, it's a good opportunity.
You have two now. No, you have to stay in place till your parents are done. Andrew? Ashton, can I get you to step down about right here?
You'll step up on them. That's okay.
Excellent. You can actually come down a little farther. You can step up beside Ashton. And then go down a little bit farther. Charlie, you step up right there. Right there. The coaches. Travis, I'll get you right here. And then Ryan and Coach Cooper, I'll get you guys right over here. All right, let's see here. Okay. Charlie, take a step down, and we'll get you, let's take a step right here. There we go. On three, everybody. 1, 2, 3. Another couple here. 1, 2, 3. And finally, 1, 2, 3. Hold on.
All right, Mom.
Hey, hold it.
Everything good? You know, I had an opportunity to go to the state championship game and perhaps some others did as well. That was truly a remarkable game, and exciting. Who was it that hit the Grand Slam? Oh, boy. So thank you all very much, and we look forward to continued great things from each of you, okay?
Before we go any further, we also have a young man in the back. I did mention his name, and anytime I call somebody's name, they have the right to defend themselves. That's Mr. Jordan Sheffield.
Oh, there he is.
And Jordan, if you would, you may stand up. And Jordan is a picture for the Vanderbilt Commodore.
All right, that's all. Thank you. Have a good school year as well.
Thank you. Well, he had a great year.
Yeah. I can't believe everybody's leaving.
He pitched in the World Series, and the first pitch he threw was 97 miles an hour. And they went, oh my goodness. So they still got him coming up.
Okay, we will.
See, we should have had the board meeting and then recognized them. That way they have to stay.
Yeah. Have to serve coffee. Okay, I appreciate everyone's indulgence. I thought that was important that we recognize the state championship team from Tullahoma. All right, now we're ready for comments from citizens. Does anyone have anything to address the board that's not later on the agenda? All right, seeing none, we will proceed. We're ready for board reports. Ms. King, you want to get us started?
Yes, Mayor, thank you. I attended the chamber coffee at First Vision Bank last week, as well as the Emerging Leaders Program luncheon that we had. We have this quarterly, and this is the Chamber of Commerce, where several of the business people in the community, we mentor some of our younger generation in hopes that they will be leaders in our community one day. And then I also attended the city employee pool party at the new Splash Island, which was a lot of fun, and it was very, very well attended. Costa, you and your group did a wonderful job. Thank you so much. We had a lot of fun watching everybody, so that was a lot of fun. So thank you for doing that. And then the mayor's planning and coordinating meeting last week. So that's my mayor.
Good. Thank you. Appreciate you, Mr. Duncan.
Thank you, Mayor. I chaired, was chairperson for the City Stamford Memorial Highway renaming and dedication program, which turned out extremely well. It was a glorious day. As the mayor always says, it's a great day in Tullahoma, and it was a great day. And I appreciate Mayor Curley and also Mayor Gary Cordell, County Mayor, for being there and for saying such great, making such great remarks at that time for the occasion. Also during that time, this was a portion of the Davidson Academy School reunion, which happens every 2 years, and we were right in the middle of that, so it happened just at the right time when we had over 200 people that came in for our school reunion and that had attended Davidson Academy in the past. So this was a really extremely grand occasion on another level because of that. So and we appreciated them coming, and we've been setting up for this for some time, for over a year now, planning, and it just came out just perfectly. We didn't think we would have this many people because we lost our database because of a computer head crash, but it worked out fantastically well. Had a young lady that set up a new database, built us a website, and did it all for us, and word of mouth just means more than you can ever imagine. I want to thank the Tullahoma Area Chamber of Commerce and the Manchester Area Chamber of Commerce for their dedication and their help in this. Also all the businesses that supported us with door prizes and goodie bags. We appreciate you so much. Thanks to all who supported us in spirit and in prayer. I want to thank the Coffee County Conference Center, especially the young lady who who chaired part of this or worked with me on this, Ambrosia, and her staff for, I attended 3 events up there in 5 days, and every one was exceptional. Had a meal, sit-down meal at each one, and probably why I'm gaining a little weight maybe, but anyway, I need to work on that. But bottom line was that they did such an extreme, a fantastic job that everyone had a great time every day that we were there. 3 times out of 5 days, and a great time was had by all. That's all I can say. I did attend the Chamber of Coffee and the pool party also, and my hats off to Ms. Costa Bryce for her work at this, and everyone who did work, the Recreation Department who worked in the planning of this. I did attend the Motlow College President's reception. I had other things on schedule, and I got there just in time before, I think after everybody else had gone, just in time to get to meet him, and it was an extreme honor just to meet him and to speak with him. So did attend the industrial board meeting also. Other than that, pretty
Very
much.
good.
Everything worked out fine all over.
Good, thank you. Dr. Blanks,
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have no report this evening.
you've been busy otherwise.
I've been out of town, missed a trip.
A lot of things to do.
Mr. Mathis.
Thank you, Mayor. In Tullahoma, this is a big week in reference to a football game that will be played Friday night at Coffee County. This is the annual coffee pot game. It's always really well attended. There'll be many people from both schools. It is such a rivalry that the National Rivalry Series, who nationwide picks out games throughout each state, and they start from Tennessee all the way to California. They carry all over the nation, has picked Coffee County and Tullahoma as the first game. So that just goes to show you what this is going to be like, the biggest rivalries in the nation. They will be in our school Thursday and Friday, and they will be watching our pep sessions. They'll have banners all over. We have competition against Coffee County in that our PE and PE2 will be doing different type of exercises, and we'll be competing against them. So this is a big deal, but it's also a big game. It means a lot. The winner, always very happy. The loser, not so happy. So anyway, come out, enjoy the game at Coffee County at 7 o'clock, and I think you will be very impressed. Thank you.
Very good, thank you. Mr. Nellis.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Last Monday, I had the opportunity to attend, along with the mayor, activity called Co-Starters, an activity where we had 7 new entrepreneurs with lifestyle companies starting up. So we're glad to see that number of new starts in the community. On Thursday then of last week, I had the opportunity to attend at ACC, that's the Arnold Community Council out at the Gossick Center. Got to meet the new commander and see and hear some of the upgrades that are going on there at AEDC, and they're bring back some memories from a long time ago when I was at AEDC. On Friday, our city administrator invited me to come in for a little chat, and we chatted from 8 that morning until 5 that evening. He brought in all of his staff of the city that introduced me to, and all of them, I think we have a wonderful staff on our city, and thank you for that opportunity to get acquainted with the staff, Brian. Then Saturday, I had another opportunity to be an ambassador from our city to our airfoilers that were out at AEDC. And Lane, they told me that you were normally there, but we didn't see you this Saturday, and I represented the city in your behalf.
Thank you.
So the airfoilers were from out of town, all over the state, and it was a great event there. So I'm getting started in this new job.
Good.
Enjoying it.
Good. Good report. Thank you. Ms. Lane, anything that you would like to report?
Coach Mathis kind of stole my thunder there with the coffee pot. You know, being a fellow Wildcat, I just want to reemphasize what he said. Please come out to the game. We need as much support as we can get, although we're going to win. We're going to win. It's our coffee pot.
There's never any doubt about that.
Never any doubt, but all the support we can get, we love it. You know, we love hype, we're hype, and all of our fans are like, that's our meat on our plate. That's our meat. So we need you guys not even just the coffee pot, every Friday night. If you have nothing to do, come out to the high school. We're always having a game, and it's always a good time.
Very good. Thank you. Appreciate you being here. Okay, you see that it's now time for an election of a mayor pro tem. So the chair will entertain a motion for the mayor pro tem.
Make a motion to nominate Coach Mathis for Mayor Pro Tem.
Second.
Proper nomination. Any other nominations? Seeing none, all those in favor of Coach Mathis serving as Mayor Pro Tem, vote green. Opposed, vote red.
Okay.
Is there one vote?
Abstaining?
Yes.
All right, motion passes 5-0. Congratulations.
What if he'd have voted no?
Okay, election of automatic representative to the Planning Commission. Mr. Noes has offered to continue to serve as a member of the Planning Commission. He's already there in another capacity, so we'll have to find a replacement for him. But Mr. Noes, I assume that you're still willing to serve.
I am, yes.
All right, so the chair will entertain a motion of Mr. Noes or anyone else.
Make a motion to appoint Ray Noes to the Planning Commission.
Second.
Other nominations? Seeing none, all those in favor of Mr. Noes serving as a member of the Planning Commission, vote green, opposed, vote red.
And
Mr. Noes, will you abstain? Or did you vote? Okay.
sorry, Blanks, Mathis, and Lane. I did it too quick.
Okay. Motion passes 6-0. Congratulations. Okay, you see spread upon the desk in front of you the suggested liaison or memberships for the various independent agencies of city government. So I appreciate, as always, your willingness to serve in that capacity, in those capacities. Okay, we're now ready for Mr. Baltz. Mr. Baltz, do you have a report, please, sir?
The first thing is I do want to announce that we now have a vacancy on the Planning Commission, so those that are interested in serving on the Planning Commission to come forward with Alderman Noes' appointment as a board representative. The other item is that we have before you an item we wish to add as other new business, item 1585, which is for purchase of a side-loading refuse truck. So the staff is requesting that item be added to other new business.
All right. You've heard the suggestion. Is there a motion that we add 1585 to the new business portion of the agenda?
Motion to add.
Proper motion, properly seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor of the motion as presented, vote green. Opposed, vote red. We're not voting on the item. We're just voting to place the item on the agenda. Has everyone voted? Motion passes 6-0. All right, Mr. Baltz.
That's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, thank you. We're now ready for our city attorney's report. Mr. Worsham, please, sir.
Firstly, I will read the certification of election results from the Coffee County Election Commission. We, the undersigned members of the Coffee County Election Commission, do hereby certify that we held the Tullahoma City election on Thursday, August 6, 2015, in all the voting precincts in said city, according to law, for the purpose of electing the offices of 2 aldermen, and that we have canvassed the returns of said election as required by law, and we do hereby certify that the following 10 pages of tabulation are a true, correct, and complete accounting of the results of said elections as established by the canvassing of the returns this 13th day of August 2015. Signed by Sandra Sosby, the chairman of the Election Commission, and Barbara Arp, secretary. I will not read all 10 pages to you, but I will read the summary page wherein the Election Commission reported that Jimmy Blanks with 956 votes was elected and Ray Noes with 1,031 votes was elected. Congratulations to you. Secondly, I'd like to congratulate Mr. Duncan. You have, in my mind, become the poet laureate of Tullahoma. That was a beautiful poem, and I would like to get a copy of that. I'd like to repeat that sometime. Thirdly, I'd like to report that Mr. Limbaugh and I are about to wind up all of the property acquisition work on East Lincoln Street for the sidewalk. So hopefully, shortly, construction of those can be underway. That's all I have to report tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Worsham. Okay, we have a consent agenda. Item 1573, minutes of the July 27, 2015 meeting. Item 1574, service agreement for pest control services. Item number 1575, offer to purchase surplus item. 1576, state contract purchase of turf overseeder. 1577, purchase agreement for CO2. 1578, dehumidifier maintenance agreement. 1579, state contract purchase of de-icing salt. 1580, purchase of UTV for litter control. 1581, state contract purchase of tractor for public works. And 1582, state contract purchase of pickup truck for Tullahoma Fire Department. Is there a motion that we accept the consent agenda as presented? Proper motion, properly seconded. All those in favor of the consent agenda as presented, vote green. Opposed, vote red. Motion passes 6-0. Although I did go through those very quickly, let me just tell you that consent agenda items are considered non-controversial in nature, and the background information is spread upon each of their agendas. All right, ready for old business. We have but one item, 1450. We earlier had a public hearing regarding ordinance number 1450, an ordinance to amend the zoning ordinance of the City of Tullahoma, Tennessee, which is ordinance number 1392, by amending Article 4, specific district regulation, Section 4, commercial zones, for passage on the second of 3 readings. As you recall, we passed this on the first reading last week. The Planning Commission unanimously endorsed it. Is there a motion to accept ordinance number 1450 on second reading?
Motion to accept.
Proper motion, properly second. Any discussion? Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. If you refer to page 73 in your packet, the city attorney has recommended that we make an amendment to the ordinance to reflect the description that's used under the Tennessee Code annotated. It doesn't change the actual intent of the ordinance. It just makes it match up with the state code. And of course, Mr. Worsham's here tonight to answer any questions specific to that if you wish. So the suggested motion is in the body of the paragraph on page 73.
All right, so the motion to amend ordinance number 1450 by striking Section 1, Part C, uses prohibited. The sentence sexually oriented businesses are specifically prohibited in the C Division 1 or C Division 2 districts, and inserting in lieu thereof a new sentence, adult-oriented establishments, as defined in Tennessee Code Annotated Section 7-51-1401, shall be specifically prohibited in the C Division 1 and C Division 2 districts. All right, so we have a motion on the floor, properly seconded. Is there a motion to accept this amendment as proposed?
So moved.
Second.
Proper motion, properly seconded. Any discussion on the amendment? Seeing none, all those in favor of adopting the amendment as presented, vote green. Opposed, vote red. Motion passes 6-0. Now we're back on the original motion as amended. Any discussion? You ready to vote? All those wishing to vote for the motion on second reading, second of 3, vote green. Opposed, vote red. Motion passes 6-0. Thank you, Mr. Worsham. Mr. Baltz.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I do want to mention for the benefit of the board that under state law, whenever the city board makes an amendment to an ordinance or that has been originally referred to the Planning Commission, that they will have an opportunity to review the amendment and take action on that. So at next week's Planning Commission meeting, this information will be forwarded to them for their concurrence, or if they fail to concur in it, the board by a majority vote of the board can override that. And then, so this will be referred to them, and then you'll have this back for final reading in your first meeting in September.
Okay. Mr. Baltz, could I ask you to do one thing, please, sir?
Yes, sir.
So our viewers would know, in reference to prohibited in C Division 1 and C Division 2 districts, explain what those are.
Okay, under the Tullahoma zoning ordinance, we have 2 commercial districts, and there's a C1 district and a C2 district, and these regulations apply to those districts, so that's specific to that. When the zoning ordinance for commercial districts was adopted several years ago, the section on uses permitted on review and the uses prohibited were omitted, and so this basically restores those provisions.
Did we vote? We did.
Yes.
We did.
Okay. All right, thank you. All right, any other old business, Mr. Baltz, are you aware?
No, Mr. Mayor.
All right, we have 3 items of new business. First, 1583, vacancy on the Housing Authority. You see on page 80 of your agenda where an appointment formally made a couple of months ago was not able to finish that, so I'd like to take this opportunity to announce anyone that's interested in serving on the Housing Authority to please submit their name and a sort of, what's it not called, application, citizen application, citizen participation form, yep, to Ms. Robin Morrison. So I'd like to take this opportunity to announce that. All right, item number 15, so we'll hopefully make that appointment at the next meeting or 2 meetings.
If the board could go ahead and accept the resignation by motion.
Okay, all right. Is there a motion to accept Ms. Gadigan's resignation?
Motion to accept her resignation.
Proper motion, properly second. Any discussion? All those in favor of the motion to accept the resignation, vote green, opposed, vote red.
Sorry, I didn't have a button. Can you go again? I didn't have a button. Thank you.
Motion passes 6-0. Mr. Norris, we're not looking at you or me specifically. We're looking at the board.
Understand.
All right, you see on page 81 of your agenda, we're pleased to make an appointment to the, let's see, lost my page here.
Board of Zoning Appeals.
Board of Zoning. Board of Zoning Appeals. No, I've got it here. Let's see. Vacancy on the Tullahoma Board of Zoning Appeals, Stormwater Board of Appeals. We have received an application from Mr. Bill Gentry. The term is for 3 years. Positions on the Board of Zoning Appeals or mayoral appointments. So if there's no objection, I'm pleased to appoint Mr. Bill Gentry. All of you, I'm sure, know Mr. Gentry. I think he'll do an outstanding job as a member of that board. All right, so now we're ready for the new item, 1585. That is for a side-loading refuse truck. A request for bids to purchase a side-loading refuse truck was advertised in the Tullahoma News, and it was available on vendorregistry.com on July 31st, 2015. Bids were open on August 13, 2015. Delivery time was specified as a determining factor in the bid. The refuse truck to be replaced is currently out of service. The shortest delivery time for a truck meeting bid specifications is the 2015 Peterbilt 320 New Way Sidewinder. Municipal Equipment, Inc. quoted a 30-day delivery time. Public Works staff have determined that the truck can be delivered within that time. The bid results are as follows. And the is that the top one there?
That's correct, $239,990.
All right. Is there a motion to accept the staff recommendation? Proper motion?
Second.
Second. Any discussion? Yes, sir.
The reason we took this bid, which was a little bit higher than the other one, was the delivery time, right?
That's correct. The truck that is being used right now is actually one of the reserve trucks. So if we lose that vehicle, then we'll be in a fix when it comes to sanitation. So when the bids were put out, Mr. Limbaugh in the purchasing office requested and basically stated in the bid package that delivery time would be a critical factor in award.
That one for the Mack truck out of Chattanooga, what specification did they not meet?
I'll let Mr. Limbaugh come forward because he's been involved in the review of the bids. He can answer the technical questions.
Were you speaking of the $220,000?
Yeah, it's a $20,000 cheaper vehicle, but it must be a $20,000 important part.
Well, the main thing of it is it's a 27 cubic yard truck, which is not
Big
not
enough.
that we use a 31 cubic yard. If we went to a 27 cubic yard truck, that's an extra trip to the transfer station every day.
It's worth $20,000 then.
Real quick.
Any other questions for Mr. Limbaugh?
And this is in your budget?
It's correct.
It is budgeted.
Just wanted everybody to be aware of that.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Other discussion? You ready to vote? Thank you, Mr. Limbaugh. All those in favor of the motion as presented to accept the bid from Municipal Equipment, vote green, opposed, vote red. Motion passes 6-0. All right, Mr. Balch, are you aware of any other new business?
No, Mr. Mayor.
All right, we are adjourned. It always surprises people when they've got, and then we'll immediately go into the beer board portion of the agenda. We have one consent agenda item, 15-BB22, the minutes of July 27th, 2015 beer board meeting. Is there a motion to adopt the consent agenda as presented? I have a motion properly seconded. All those in favor vote green, opposed vote red. Motion passes 6-0. Now, we are ready for new business, BB23 beer permit on premises application, Blazing Wings, Inc., doing business as Buffalo Wild Wings, 1705 North Jackson Street. Mr. Kevin Roland Alexander, applicant.
Mr. Mayor, may I be recognized?
Yes, sir.
I spoke with Mr. Alexander this morning in light of the fact that effective July 1st, the legislature has enacted an amendment to the beer board application process for municipalities, which we are bound to follow. And that amendment requires that we identify an applicant as having been a resident of the United States for at least a year. Not the state of Tennessee, but the United States. Now, Mr. Alexander is the manager applying for the beer permit in behalf of the corporation that owns the establishment known as Blazing Wings Incorporated. So I talked with their attorney in Nashville, and I have here to submit to Ms. Golden a certificate of authorization authorizing them to do business in Tennessee, and it's been in effect since June the 12th, 2000. So they do comply in that regard.
Good, thank you. Okay, you see the application. See, I'm sorry, we met earlier.
Yes, sir.
You're Mr. Alexander?
Yes, sir.
Kevin. Okay, let me step to the podium if you don't mind. Welcome, first of all.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
I spoke with him earlier, and I told him there was absolutely a buzz in the community about his business opening.
We're very excited to be here.
Yeah, good.
This is the first prototype of our new prototype that's built in Tennessee is going to be here in Tullahoma.
Yeah.
So we're real excited about that
Right.
also.
Good. You understand the sale of beer is a very important responsibility. And have you had experience yourself with retail sales of beer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Have you received a copy of the beer laws of Tullahoma?
Yes, sir.
Have you read those?
Yes, sir.
All right. Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Ms. Golden, does everything appear to be in order?
If we could,
Subject to, the motion needs to be subject to final fire inspection. So the floor is open for a motion that we accept.
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
Proper motion, properly second. Any discussion? Do you have any questions?
I have discussion. When are y'all going to open?
We're scheduled for September the 7th, Labor Day.
Soft opening, hard opening?
Soft opening we'll start doing on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and then we'll just open on Monday. Yeah.
Be wide open. Okay, we have a motion and a second on the floor. All those in favor of the motion as presented, vote green. Opposed, vote red. Has everyone voted? Motion passes 6-0. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate your investment in our community. All right. Once again, we're very pleased that we have an application from the Aldermen Kiwanis Club in support of the 41A Music and Arts Festival, which is September the 25th and 26th. And Mr. Jason Redd is here.
Hello again.
Appreciate you as well. I don't know that we'll clap for you, but we might. I don't know. We do look forward to this. And Ms. Golden, are there any, I should have looked, are there any outstanding items?
no, just that they would like to waive the permit fee since they are a 501c nonprofit organization.
Okay.
I make a motion.
All right. Proper motion, properly seconded. Does your motion include the provision to?
Waiving the fees.
Okay.
Yes.
Is that all right with you, Jason?
That's fine with me.
Okay.
And I'd like to thank the city for your cooperation and support of our event for our 6th year now. It means a lot to us.
Yeah. I know Public Works is involved, and police and fire are certainly involved. So.
Absolutely, been a great help. And I know Mr. Alexander here has not been indoctrinated into the community support side of Tullahoma yet in our festival. I'd like to talk to him a little bit about some sponsorship.
Good. All right, any other discussion on the request?
Is it going to be at the same place?
Same place. Really need to see what's going to happen with the sidewalk renovation. We've been promised that's going to be out of the way by the time our event rolls around, but same place. A little bit different stage set up this year. The insurance company for the production company has decided they don't like the Jenny lift roofs. They want something that is not going to blow over in the event of a big windstorm. We haven't had an issue with that in the past, but there have been festivals around the country where that has happened and roofs falling over and hurt people, and they're getting away from that setup. So it's going to look a little bit different. The stage is going to be bigger and taller, have more lights hanging from it and banners on the side and the top, which is new this year for us. But other than that, everything's pretty much the same.
I don't recall the details, Mr. Limbaugh, but I think the construction that's going on now is in support of the festival. Is that right?
That's correct.
Right.
We're going to start there. We plan on being through and
Sure.
having the electrical all in for them.
Right. So if any questions about that, we'll just speak to
I don't have any right now.
Okay.
Yeah, that's.
All right. Are we ready to vote? All those in favor of the motion as presented, vote green. Opposed, vote red. Motion passes 6-0. Congratulations.
Thank you. I hope to see you all there September 25th and 26th.
Yep, we'll be there. Thank you. Kevin, you've gotten something started here. We're glad for beer board applicants. All right. All right, anything else? You're looking at me. Anything else?
Yeah, we have
We have one more agenda item.
Oh, do we? Oh, that's right, a very important one as well. Yes. Okay, you see on page 108, we appreciate our police chief and the men and women of his department. You see that we have some compliance checks, violations. So the suggestion is that we set a beer board hearing for Monday, September the 14th, 2015. Is there a motion to accept?
Motion to accept.
Second.
Proper motion, properly seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor, vote green. Opposed, vote red. Motion passes 6-0. Now, we finished? Okay. No other business. We are adjourned. Have a safe evening.